What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and as you all already know, for the last few days, I have been covering this Rudy Farias story. And, there's a lot of confusion surrounding this story. There's a lot of updates that are coming in almost 24/7. And like I was talking about last night, it's really easy when you got all of this information dropping. You got all of these people sharing their opinions. You got these press conferences, these news clips, these news articles. It's really easy to get caught up and to get just drug along with the story. And when you do that, oftentimes you overlook tiny little things that are said and done throughout a case. So over the past couple of videos, I've been trying to kind of slow things down a bit and point out little details that sound really odd to me or paint a clearer picture about what's going on here. Now, we know that Rudy was never missing. We know that over the years, We know that over the years, law enforcement had run-ins with Rudy. We know that law enforcement went to the house. We know that law enforcement ran into Rudy in the streets. Nothing was ever done. So it appears that the Houston Police Department knew for all of these years that Rudy wasn't missing, right? However, Rudy's mom has not acknowledged this yet. Rudy's mom is still telling the story that she just found Rudy after 8 long years. Now, it's hard to get real confirmation from anyone in this story, especially law enforcement. Because law enforcement says, we knew Rudy was safe. We ran into him in the streets. Patrol officers talked to Rudy a few times. He gave false names. Or, we went to the house and they gave false names. As Rudy was there, blah, 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 blah. But they never fully acknowledged that, hey, yeah, we knew Rudy was alive this whole time. You kind of got to fill in the blanks. They say that, we talked to Rudy a couple of times and saw he was safe. We went to the house and saw Rudy there and they gave us fake names. But they never really acknowledged fully that they even knew that it was Rudy. You catch my drift here? So they've acknowledged that they knew Rudy was there, but they don't want to fully acknowledge that they, for a 100% fact, knew that it was Rudy. I guess we're all supposed to assume that throughout the multiple run-ins that they had with Rudy, they never checked or ran his ID at all, even though the cops check and run ID basically with any run-in they have with people. At least the run-ins I've had, I've always had to provide ID. But there's no 100% confirmation from them just saying outright, yeah, we knew Rudy was alive, even though they basically said they knew Rudy was alive. But the tough part for me is this. We know, or in my opinion, there are so many things that they could charge Rudy's mom with. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they're just sitting there, creating a checklist of, all right, we're going to get this lady for this, we're going to get her for this, we're going to get her for that. But who knows what they're doing, right? But at the very least, if y'all know that Rudy was alive and well and at the house this whole time, and y'all know that Rudy was a missing person, how do you not charge the woman for lying? And to take it one step further, Rudy's mother is still sticking to that nonsense story about Rudy being kidnapped by human traffickers and all of this wild stuff. So the police know for a fact that Rudy's mom is lying to their faces in the statements that she's making. But just to confirm that the Houston Police Department knows that she was lying this entire time and that she's still lying, Rudy's aunts, they've talked to the press a few times. They had a couple of, I guess you could call it press conferences, whatever, they've addressed the media. And they said one thing that really stuck out to me a couple of days ago. And they shared a picture. And I believe this is confirmation, if they're telling the truth, that Houston Police Department for a 100% fact knew that Rudy was there the entire time. I want you all to watch this clip. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I want you to listen to what they have to say, and then I'm going to be back with more thoughts.
To get checked.
That picture's what?
This is the picture that some HPD officer sent me because I requested the picture.
What is this picture? What is this?
Rudy in the kitchen of his mother's house in 2018.
I'm sorry, what?
Rudy, that's a picture of Rudy in his mother's house in 2018. That's when Janie was married to Robert Ortega.
Robert Ortega.
Yes.
Listen, this entire story has been one big mix-up. Trying to keep up with all of the names. And then Rudy's mom has like 40 different names and aliases and Facebook accounts and businesses. It's really hard to keep up with all of this stuff. So forgive me if I'm, if I got things mixed up here and I'm wrong. But you heard what these ladies said. It basically sounds like, right, that the Houston Police Department sent them a picture of Rudy to confirm that Rudy was okay and that Rudy was alive and that Rudy was at his mom's house. She says that a HPD officer sent her this picture of Rudy because she wanted a picture confirmation that Rudy was there and that he wasn't missing and that he was okay. So if this is true, and if I don't got my information mixed up, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong. If this is true, then what does that tell you? That the Houston Police Department knew. Not just that they had run-ins with Rudy and he provided a fake name. Not just that they went to the house several times and Rudy's mom and Rudy gave fake names. But they knew. They even told the aunt and sent her a picture like, hey, Rudy's here. What does that tell you, ladies and gentlemen? That tells you that they need to be charging the mom for lying about this story. I'm literally baffled. And things don't really surprise me anymore these days, especially with true crime cases, but I'm baffled. Because if what these women are saying is true, and this isn't some type of misunderstanding, law enforcement not only knew that Rudy was there, they confirmed that Rudy was there, and even felt comfortable confirming Rudy was there for other people. Yet, they have nothing to say about this whole scheme, about this whole crazy situation that's going on. Which leads me to believe, like I told you all, from the beginning, as soon as they released the police press conference, denying that Rudy claimed that his mother did this or did that, claiming they weren't going to bring charges against Rudy's mom. I told you, right from the bat, they're trying to cover their own behinds. Because they know, damn good and well, they failed that kid. They know that they did not act, they did not do their jobs. And at the end of the day, once they charge Rudy's mom, and people stop focusing on Rudy's mom, everyone's going to look at HPD like, okay, so why didn't y'all do anything about this? Why are y'all sending pictures of Rudy to the family member to confirm that he's alive, yet you're allowing the mother to lie to your face and pretend like he was missing when y'all confirmed that he wasn't missing several times? So, like, the only thing I could think is that these people are trying to cover their own asses. Because if not, the only other really logical explanation would be that maybe they're, I don't want to say in on this, but I don't know, does Rudy's mom have some information on some of these cops that they don't want to get out there? As you know, there's been rumors spiraling around that one of the reasons they didn't really pay attention, I don't want to say pay attention, one of the reasons why they didn't act on this situation is because of Rudy's father. And they didn't want to bring more attention to what Rudy's father did. And they felt like if they dealt with this case of a missing boy who is really Rudy, one of their fellow officers' kids, that it would bring more attention to the scam that Rudy's father was doing within the Houston Police Department. Because Rudy's father was a crooked cop that was involved in all types of scams and stuff like that. And he eventually offed himself right in his patrol car once he got caught. So some people believe, and there's been stirrings about this before Rudy was even found, that the Houston Police Department has chose not to really act on this situation, because if they do act on this situation, it draws more attention to Rudy, who's named after his father. And once that attention gets drawn, it's going to draw attention to what Rudy's father did. And you know, if Rudy's father was caught up in that, there were plenty of other cops caught up in it as well. And I don't know, maybe some of these cops still work for the Houston Police Department. So what we're dealing with here is, I believe that for some reason, I'm not here to confirm what reason it is. You could come up with your own theories, but for some reason, the Houston Police Department is choosing not to act. It's not because of lack of evidence. It's not because they don't have anything they could charge the mother with. They have plenty of things they could charge the mother with. They're choosing not to act, either to cover their own ass, or maybe Rudy's mom knows something or has something on one of these cops or something. And I don't put nothing past these people. I'm not someone that hates cops. I'm not someone that's for defunding the police and stuff like that. But I'm not going to support and blindly just support crooked cops who aren't doing their job, who didn't do their job over the last 8 years. And if they did their job for 1 second, then Rudy probably wouldn't have had to go through the torture that he went through. But with that being said, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.